Hale.
And I'm Alex, and today we're going to do our 2018 Booktubeathon wrap-up.
So we just finished Booktubeathon. Today was the last day, actually. And we both finished all 7 of our books.
So let's start with our first challenge book, which was the
Coin Flip book.
Yeah.
So for my Coin Flip book, I read Finding Cinderella by Colleen Hoover. I believe I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads because like it was 2 stars on Goodreads. Yeah, it was cute, but like there was nothing there. Like,
I remember you saying you were gonna give it 3, and then you gave it 2, and I was like, okay.
Well, it was good, but there was like I don't know, there was no substance to it, and like it was very predictable. So, I enjoyed it, but like it honestly wasn't that good. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Understandable.
Yeah.
So for my coin flip, I had More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera, and I freaking love Adam Silvera. I can't even say anything. This was his first book, actually, so I read all of his books in reverse order. So I read They Both Die at the End, History's All You Left Me, More Happy Than Not, and I love this one. The ending was really great, and I didn't think I was going to cry, and guess who cried? Me. Because I cried every Adam Silvera book, so you know what? Thanks, Adam. So the second challenge was Something You Want to Do.
That was Something You Want to Do?
Yes.
So for that, this was actually my last book of Booktubeathon. I read The Red Notebook by Antoine Lorraine. I don't know French, so probably butchered that. But
That's
Antoine. I loved this book. If I had to pick a favorite from this week, it was probably this one. I read it in basically one sitting. I sat down on my couch and I read the whole thing, and I was like, this is adorable. Like, this is so good. It's very lighthearted and very amusing. I was so happy, and it is a romance, but like, it's such a fluffy romance, and there's not that much, I don't know, it didn't feel like a romance to me. I don't know what it felt like, but it just, like, it made my heart happy. I'm so glad I picked it for the end, because it was just a good book. I definitely recommend it. And so I picked that one for the second challenge in the first place, too, because I want to study abroad, and it takes place in Paris. Actually, it's translated from French, too. And I think I would like to go to Paris, and it takes place in a Parisian bookstore, so like, hell yes, I'm going to a Parisian bookstore when I go to Paris someday, so it counts.
It counts. Alright, so mine for the second challenge was A List of Cages by Robin Rowe, and this one probably almost makes, this one and my book-to-movie adaptation was definitely the toss-up for my favorite book of Booktubeathon. This one I picked for this challenge because Julian, who is one of the main characters, was a foster child, so I want to adopt kids, so that was my reasoning. I freaking love this book for some reason. I didn't think I was going to love it as much as I did. I thought it was going to be a pretty good read, like I was expecting something good. When I got to the meaning of the title, I almost lost it. Like, yeah, I lost it at the end. I totally lost it. I was crying again. Why am I a mess? Who knows? I was crying at this one. The main characters are really well created. There was some little holes in it that I was like, okay, what's happening here? But the overall meaning of the story, like, just won out, and I had to give it 5 stars. So. It was a quick read, so I really appreciate that too, and the font size is like 900.
The best thing ever.
Third challenge was the book-to-movie adaptation, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, if we go out of order, who cares?
Who cares?
So, for this one, I picked Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer, and it was made into a movie kind of recently, actually, because I think it came out in like February or something like that. So, this is not my copy because I hate movie covers. But honestly, I gotta say, for a movie cover, this isn't bad.
It's not a bad one.
No.
It could be way worse.
However, the original cover is really pretty, so
it is.
It's fine. I don't own this. It's okay. And I read this yesterday, and I actually really liked it. There's a lot of people who don't like this book on Goodreads, and it's like a 3.66 rating, which isn't that great. And I don't really know why, because I thought this was really enjoyable. It was sciencey, but like not overwhelmingly sciencey. It was interesting. I guess, I mean, the ending, it has a really open ending, so maybe people don't like that, but I personally don't have a problem with open ending. So I definitely recommend this one, even though it is not that great on Goodreads. So you never know, though, what you're gonna like.
It's true. So mine for this was A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. This is not my copy, this is Haley's copy that I got her for her birthday.
It's from Germany.
Yes, it is. It's a first edition hardcover.
Yes, it is.
But I really loved this one. If you've watched this channel before, you've heard Haley talk about it like a million times. It's basically about this boy Connor, and his mother has cancer, and this monster comes to him at night, and you don't really know if it's a dream or not, but it's cool. The story behind it makes so much sense that it hurts. And if you've ever personally had someone affected by cancer, you know friends who have had parents affected by cancer, it really hits home. And Connor's truth at the end makes so much sense. And yeah, I was sobbing. I was sobbing at page 131 with 205 pages. And then I got myself together, and then I sobbed at the end. Yay. We did a lot of sobbing this week. I need to not sob next week.
I personally really like that book as well.
It's really good.
I recommended it to her like a year ago or something like that. So
Yeah, and this was my time to pick it up.
yeah, it was a good time.
It was. So that was another 5-star one from this week.
Green on the cover. So for the one with green on the cover, I picked up Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray, and this is the uncensored version of it. I gotta tell you though, this was written in like 1890, and like the censored portions of it are like things with gay, and people could not handle any form of gay in the 1890s. So like, uncensored my ass. This is like, it's so mild. It's so mild. Actually, if I had to say, even though this got a 3-star rating and was higher than the rating for Finding Cinderella, this was probably my least favorite book on the list. Because I just thought, I was just bored with it a lot of the times, and I thought it was kind of a weird story too. The only reason I gave it a higher review was because it is a classic, and I can see why it is a classic. It focuses on vanity and selfishness, and probably is one of the best reflections of those themes that I've ever read in a book. I just thought the story itself was boring, but I did have to give Wilde credit for being able to portray those themes so well in a way that I've never seen done before. I hated Dorian Gray himself. He's a horrible person, but that is the point of the novel. So that's my problem with it.
So my green on the cover was Tales of the Peculiar. The whole cover's green, wow, by Ransom Riggs. And this one was just short stories of peculiars. And so when they tell Jacob like different tales of the peculiar and how he fits into this peculiar world. So I found this book really cute. Like some of the tales were very interesting and very well created. I was like, Ransom, how'd you think of these? Like, who are you? Like, you seem like such a normal guy when you look at you, but no.
No.
But I never loved Miss Peregrine's with all my heart. I liked the books and I liked the tales, but I didn't love them with all my heart.
Just did.
Killed him. I just didn't love them. They took me a while to get through. So the tales just didn't resonate with me as much, especially because I read the book so long ago that it just didn't resonate as much. But I still like the tales, and I like the peculiar universe that he's created. Hats.
Okay.
Oh no.
Hats
Yeah,
would be
hats.
fine. So we're just gonna go with hats.
Hats.
So for the hat challenge, my hat is over there. It's like a pink baseball cap because I don't own any other hats.
Mhm.
And for that book, I read Wires and Nerve, Volume 2, Gone Rogue by Marissa Meyer. Stephen Gilpin.
Don't tell me.
Stephen Gilpin is the artist, and this book was really good. It was great. I flew through it. It's a graphic novel, of course, so like obviously the pages are not going to be super long. And I actually really like Gilpin's work. The art is some of my favorite graphic novel work that I've seen thus far. And the story itself is really good. I can't really go into that much detail because again it is a volume 2, so the first one was just Wires and Nerve. But basically it follows Eco after what happened in winter and what happens after that. So it's really nice if you want to stay in the universe and find out what's happening next. And of course there is still some good plot in here that will keep you engaged. I enjoyed this. I forget what I rated it. It wasn't my favorite, but I liked it yet. You know what I mean?
So for my hat, it was Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too by Jomny Sun. And Jomny Sun does his own illustrations for this. He's actually now doing a book with Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote Hamilton. Sorry, Lin. But this one was actually really cute. I didn't really know, this one is even less than a graphic novel. It's basically like a picture book that's 200 pages. But it's really cute, and it kind of is just Jomny is a lonely alien. And he comes to Earth to study humans, and the humans actually aren't there, so he starts talking to different creatures that he believes are humans, like a tree and a frog and a chicken and bears and all that. And you kind of get this feeling, you kind of learn little life lessons even though you're just reading basically a picture book. You kind of get the lesson of you can choose whatever you want to be even though you don't know what you're gonna be. And even if you're an introverted hedgehog, you can become an artist. And if you're a bear, you can still find love, and everyone's an alien when you're an alien too. I found this one really cute, and I got myself retweeted by Booktubeathon for it, so, you know, that was pretty hype. My hat was my Churchill Downs hat, so I got it at Churchill Downs, which is where they hold the Kentucky Derby, so it was that big, really nice hat in the vlog for it.
Yeah. And then
Beautiful Spine.
the 6th or whatever challenge was Beautiful Spine, and for this one I read 1,000 Nights by E.K. Johnston, and I didn't like it much at all. I gave it 3 stars, but like I wasn't really entertained, and honestly I just pushed through the past 150 pages in a day to get it over with. So I don't know. I won't be reading Spindle. I can tell you that much.
So for this one, I actually read Spindle by E.K. Johnston, and I liked 1,000 Nights like 10 times better. I ended up giving Spindle like 3 stars because I did like the characters, but they listed it as a sequel to 1,000 Nights, and it had absolutely no connection to 1,000 Nights. Like, they mentioned the creatures, but it wasn't the same creature. And then they mentioned the storyteller queen, which was a girl who didn't have a name in 1,000 Nights. I'm still better. But that was it. Like, that was all. Like, they never mentioned anything else about her. And I'm sure, like, the princess was a descendant of them, but that doesn't help me. It's, like, generations out. So I just wasn't really enthralled. And pretty much half the book was them just running around the forest. So it just didn't spark my interest, and it shouldn't be listed as a sequel. So...
So the last challenge was to read 7 books, so you basically just picked some random ass book for the 7th book. So for this one, I picked My Friend Dahmer by Durf Victor, and I really liked this a lot.
He has a real name, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yes, Jeff Victor.
Yeah. And
That's even worse.
I know. It's not Jeff. I don't remember.
I think it is.
It might
I think
be.
you're right.
I think it is Jeff. But
I know it's a J name.
So basically, this is really interesting because Durf went to high school with Jeffrey Dahmer, the serial killer, and he was actually friends with him for a time. So it's basically about his experiences in high school and Jeffrey Dahmer's experiences in high school as well. It's very fascinating and chilling, especially if you're into like murder and murderers like I am. I like learning about serial killers, but so this was like right up my alley, and it was a Reading Olympics book as well, which was even better. And it was graphic novel, so I flipped through it, and I just really like Durf's style of his writing and his drawings as well. This is my 2nd graphic novel by him, and I'll probably be looking to read some more stuff from him in the future. However, I think they're the only 2 like full-length graphic novels by him. Unfortunately, so this man has got to write more because I want to buy it and read it.
So mine for this challenge was actually the one that lost out in the coin flip. So it was October Morning, A Song for Matthew Shepard by Leslie Newman, and this one was also a Reading Olympics book, so that was a win there. This one was all poems, and it was 91 pages. So you want to know how fast I did this? 25 minutes. Today. So it was actually really good, and I didn't really know how well I was going to be able to get the story of Matthew Shepard, who was a gay man at the University of Wyoming who was basically killed for just being gay in 1998. So I was reading it, and I didn't know how well I was going to be able to get into the poems. I haven't read like a poem book that had like a big story since 8th grade when I read Yellow Star, which is about the Holocaust. So when I got into this book, I didn't really know, and as I read it, I really got into the story, and I really understood all of what she was writing and how this related to Matthew and his death. And the way she took it, and she took different things, like she wrote about the fence he was tied to multiple times and did poems from the fence's point of view, which I thought was really, really interesting. And the one quote that like really stuck out to me was, the fence said it would rather be a shrine than the scene of a crime. And I was like, geez. And then they tore the fence down, and there was one from a tree, and it never expected to be like a coffin for Matthew. Well, he was cremated, so not a coffin, but like the chest where they put his ashes. And then they did this stuff from like the murderer's point of view, and the one murderer seemed pretty like remorseful about it, like didn't know why they did it, and the other one really did hate gays at the time and knew exactly why he did it and wasn't really ashamed of himself. And it was about the parents and all too. So this one it was really good, and it hit close to home because I have a gay friend, so I was thinking about him as I was reading it. He was actually texting me, and I was like, why are you texting me right now? So that one, it was actually really good and a really quick read, and I actually really recommend that one to understand the story of Matthew Shepard.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So that was what we read during Booktubeathon. I also want to mention that I finished The Crow Prince during Booktubeathon. It wasn't a Booktubeathon book, but I did finish it during that time period.
I finished no other books during Booktubeathon.
Anyways, that's it for this video, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!